What is up, bros? Me, Josh here. In today's video, we are going over the Tier 6 French battleship, the Normandy, and you'll be able to get your hands on this ship in the upcoming 7.2 patch. Now, this is currently work in progress, so subject to change, so just keep that in mind that these values could change. And I think this ship needs a little bit of loving when it comes, so I hope it gets a little bit of a change. Now, Tier 6, known as being a very competitive tier. You have the Fuso, you have the Mexico, you have literally endless Tier 6 battleships that are just known for being good. And the Normandy, I think, has the makings for being good. 12 shells, 340 millimeters, almost a 20-kilometer range, decently quick. I think overall the ship looks good. Doesn't really have any... I feel like it needs a little bit of an AA boost, but overall I'm finding this ship to be relatively meh because of how competitive this tier is. There are so many good Tier 6 battleships. It is by far the most competitive Tier 6. Tier 6 and Tier 8 are both... There's a lot of battleships right now that are all really good. And of course French cruisers, if you ever shot them, you know that they never take citadels, it seems like. But the Normandy, 12 shells going out, which is pretty basic. I think the majority of battleships at Tier 6 have 12 shells going out at one time. 3 sets of 4. And French are, a lot of the quads, I think they almost all have quads besides the low tiers. And, but kind of the weakness of the ship is it has all right accuracy. It's, you know, it's decent, right? Here and there. I think the line basically kind of shows a little bit of hot and cold and not as consistent as you'd want them. But I found the ship to be pretty agile, pretty quick. You got going pretty quick, and overall was able to do a lot of damage this game. But I don't know if it was anything I couldn't have done with, let's say, a Fuso or an Arizona or a New Mexico even. The armor is okay. It's nothing extremely crazy compared to anything else, and really it's kind of lackluster AA. I think one of the lowest for the tiers, because it's really weird because the Tier 5 has some really good AA. The Tier 5, I think it's probably the second best besides the Texas, but the Texas is the Texas. And the Tier 7 then gets bumped up to basically almost Scharnhorst level for AA. But this one kind of has really low, so it's this weird little oasis of meh, if you want to call it that, you know, whatever that means. But yeah, I don't know. I think this ship needs something, maybe a small little reload boost. Of course, you get to the Leon at 7 and you basically get an extra gun, so it makes it that much more. So the upsides of the ship are the shells are a little bit smaller caliber, but they still are relatively accurate. You have 12 of them going out, 3 out of 3 turrets. Relatively quick, relatively agile, and a really good range of almost 20 kilometers, which is actually pretty solid. But as you can see right now, we're getting a bunch of small hits. This line seems like it's going to be an anti-cruiser line, and that's pretty cool. As you can see, that the accuracy there is all right. But you're going to be relatively quick, relatively stealthy. Of course, I dunked that. I don't know how I dunked that in the water. And the Iron Duke being the Royal Navy battleship, teaching battleships how to shoot HE. Appreciate you. And but I'm not seeing the big hits out of this ship, and I think it just needs a little bit of love. And I think this is one of the ships on the line that probably needs a little bit of loving more than anything. There's a couple that are sticking out that if they just had something else, they could be just a tad better. And I don't know if that's just the replay, but it shows me clicked onto the Iron Duke and I'm putting shots in the Omaha, so I'm not exactly sure. I think that might be just an error. Yeah, there's 12K in the Omaha. Yeah, so weaknesses on this ship. Smaller caliber, so you're gonna have trouble against battleships. But that's kind of the whole line. Besides that, maybe like the France, the Tier 10, and your AA is gonna be pretty mediocre. One of the lower ratings at this tier. Stealth is kind of on par with almost everything, and there's kind of the shotgun effect as you see on a lot of them this line. And boom, down it goes. So you're going to be able to take out cruisers pretty easily. Cruisers and destroyers, I feel like the sign does pretty well. Secondaries are all right, and but again, against battleships, you're going to have some trouble. You don't have the thickest armor, so a lot of the other ones kind of have almost like a pseudo turtleback, it seems like. It's not exactly a turtleback, but it's kind of hard to citadel. I found that a lot of the battleships were actually really tough to citadel. Or I wasn't actually getting citadeled that much. This one, though, overall has pretty mediocre armor, and but still I wasn't getting dunked on too much because your ability to kind of weave in and out a lot. I mean, it almost feels like you're playing a cruiser by how quick you can turn. So that is one of the upside. You can dodge a lot of ships. You can get into this position to then, you know, angle well and use the armor itself. It seems like this armor is a lot of layers compared to the super thick armor, and you know, it overall can be pretty effective. But this is the one that I was, I don't know if you guys saw the chat at the start of the match, this is one that I'm trying in good torps by our Genois. Duncan, the Budjani, I put a shot in. I was going to help him out as we start to take some control of this game back. But I don't know what it is about the ship. It just is lacking something. It needs a little bit of love, and I think what it really does is, like, you are throwing. There's 3 tiers that I think battleships need to be decent on a line, and if you look at basically all the lines, all the battleships are decent at these lines, with, you know, maybe some you know, maybe some differences here and there, but I feel like that's tier 6, tier 8, and tier 10. You know, if you look at all the tier 6 battleships, there really isn't a bad one. You know, maybe some people might dislike certain ships, but all in all, there really aren't that many, I would say, actual bad ships. Now, you know, if you've ever played certain lines, you know, there are hurdle ships, but it never really seems like they're at tier 6 for battleships. It never really seems like they're at tier 8 for battleships. You know, the tier 8, you have the Bismarck, you have the Norcal, you have the Amagi. Although the Amagi gets me every once in a while, I get kind of angry at that ship. You know, you have a lot of good ships at those tiers, and the same at tier 6. There isn't really a bad ship. There's some that may not like the play style. You know, a lot of people don't like the Baron. I give the Dunkirk a little bit of crap here and there, but they aren't bad. This one, I wouldn't necessarily say it's bad, but it's definitely just so underwhelming compared to other stuff at this tier. I don't know what it is. Like, I feel like if I was in a Fuso, or if I was in a Numex, or if I was in literally anything, now there's a pretty solid hit, but of course what you want to need to do with these smaller caliber shells is aim a little bit higher, hit that higher armor belt, and do as much damage as you can. You're going to see what this thing can do against the Graf Spee, well, what the Graf Spee can actually do to it. And right now I'm kind of posting up because I don't want those Nicholas Torps to hit me. And there we go, right in front of me. That's why I kind of slowed down, because I knew he was in that smoke. But the secondaries are actually pretty decent, relatively accurate within short range. And I think these Graf Spee Torps, I don't know if they are to my left, I think they died out. But the Graf Spee actually puts a massive little hit on me. You'll see that in just a second. And boom, there's a nice little shot. So this guy actually, so this is actually pretty tough. He puts an 11k salvo, and I think we take a Citadel right there. Now the Graf Spee does fire a relatively big shell, but I wasn't really expecting that damage out of the cruiser, but you give a broadside against anything like that, it's going to punish you, so I deserve to be punished. But again, I feel like if I was in something else, I feel like this ship I would have been able to do more, you know? And you know, and as I said, tier 6, everything seems to be decent to good. Tier 8, everything seems to be decent to good. And tier 10, everything seems to be decent to good. I mean, imagine if there were bad, like there was a bad tier 10. Like, how anticlimactic would that be? And as you can see right here, I don't think we shoot down a single plane. Now, we've been getting beat up a little bit. Nothing too crazy. Actually, it's been a lot of AP salvos. But I think this has the lowest AA rating out of any tier 6 battleship. And boom, down goes the DD, and we're going to try to hide behind this island. I was trying to go full speed. So you are quick, you are agile, you do have that, and this torp bomber is coming in, so I'm trying to squeeze in behind this island and make him drop on land. One thing you can do is with a auto drop, if people don't really know what they're doing. It says we're going against a Bogue right now, so all they can do is auto drop. What I was trying to do is get an angle that he would end up dropping as much of it on land as possible. So as you can see, he's going over land, so he's correcting it, and I'm just trying to hug it. So there's an arming time, and boom, he gets a little bit. He tries to correct it right there. We do take one on the face, but overall we can just hide behind and only take one instead of a second one would have killed us right there. So we're gonna post up here. We're just gonna kind of hide and right now be basically just a firing spot right here and stay away from that Fuso, because he kept his guns on me. His guns are basically on me. He just took out that cruiser behind me. So I'm just going to try to post up and just wait for my spot to potentially attack, because I can speed up relatively quick and get a good shot. But I only have 5,400 life. I imagine I'm going to be alive until those planes come back. and I'm just kind of just chilling right now. So the Fuso puts his guns on me, so I can't really move, so I just kind of wait. So there is a little boring part of this game, but I'm not moving, man. Good luck. I'll wait for the planes, I guess. But it needs maybe a little bit of an AA boost, like I said. The Tier 5 actually has a relatively solid, and this is with AA module and an AFT captain, and it's still underwhelming. So kind of surprised, you know, not all the Tier 6 battleships have that good of AA rating, but this one is, I mean, Tier 5 planes going over, and we don't shoot down a single one. That's kind of crappy a little bit. You know, even this one, I don't even know if we'd shoot down this plane. It's a spotter plane. Put a little tap on the buddy. You know, 4K will help our Genois, who just destroyed the other buddy, so he'll get that one. So there we go, nice. And yeah, the spotter plane just circling around. Dive bombers coming in. Not a single plane shot down. Not a single plane shot down. You know, if I was in a Baron, those things are shredded. If I was in a, you know, New Mexico, those things are getting shredded. Even in Arizona, which kind of has mediocre A, I would have probably shot down a couple. And probably been able to bounce a lot more of the shells throughout this entire game, so it had a little bit more life. But, you know, I'm not just going to nag on this thing. It does have some upside. I just think it needs a little bit of love. Again, this is currently a work in progress. Nice little 91,000 game. We're going to get a little bit more on this CV once we get them spotted. We ended up surviving, which is always good. And we're just going to kind of take this game home. So 4 kills, 91k. Again, this line is going to excel against, as you can see, I was talking to chat saying he's in that area. Just our Matsuki didn't have a spot on him because he's getting the cap. 91k, 4 kills, and this line, I enjoy this line. I didn't really enjoy this ship, is one of the reasons why I think they'll probably do something to this thing to make it a little more fun. You know, each line has a hurdle. You know, people, and I'm going to say these things, and people are like, well, I like that ship, you're not right. But, you know, USN cruisers, Pensacola tends to be mediocre for a lot of people who play it. They tend to not like it. The Baltimore, now I haven't played it since the buff, so it's apparently much better with the reload and radar. I played it before radar back in my day. I sold 11k, so boom, gets us over that that 100k mark, which is what you always try to aim for in this game. And they're capping out instead. So, but 100k, 4 kills, we'll take that in a tier 6 all day. But again, I don't know if I could have I probably could have done better in any other battleship. So I think they'll give this thing some love. I think they'll maybe buff its reload or something like that. I find it hard though because the tier 7 has the same reload. So why would this thing with the same exact guns have a better reload? I don't know, but I feel like it's missing something. I think even if they maybe buff the AA a little bit, they'll give it it'll be okay. Right now, maybe it's going to be a hurdle ship. Maybe it just is. You know, maybe it's going to be the Azumo of this line. Luckily, it's at tier 6, so the hurdle is earlier in the line. Like I said, it's not the worst thing. I'm not like, oh, you're gonna hate this ship. It's just all right. It's nothing too crazy. I wasn't like, you know, like the France, the tier 10. I really enjoy that ship. I had a lot of fun in that ship, and that one's gonna be really fun to play. This one was just like, okay, it's a tier 6 battleship. It is what it is. So that's it for me for the Normandy, guys, the tier 6 French battleship, the Normandy. I'm hoping it gets a little spice because right now it's a little boring and it's kind of just lacking a little bit. I don't know what it is. Something will, I think Wargaming will give it a little something. Hopefully it'll be a little better of a ship. But all in all, it's tier 6. It's a fun tier, and especially with that range, it even will up tier decently. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.